everything that's ever happened in the Tournament of Power has led us to this very point in time, as it's do or die for both Universe 7 and Universe 11, as Goku, Vegeta, Android 17, and Frieza take on Jiren to determine which universe will be the last ones to survive. But is this battle going to be as predictable as some people make it out to be, or are we in for a massive surprise? On today's video, we will be talking about the final battle in Dragon Ball Super, as it's all or nothing for everyone who's fighting for their survival, so hold on to your seats because we're going to be diving into the final minutes of the Tournament of Power next. If you guys like the Dragon Ball content that I provide on this channel, then make sure you guys punch that subscribe button with notifications enabled to be the first to receive all the latest in Dragon Ball content and be a part of the Dragon Ball squad. And also don't forget to follow me on these social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, to stay connected with me at all times. Hashtag Dragon Ball Squad. Thank you so very much for your support. Now let's begin. It's do or die for both Universe 7 and Universe 11, as only 4 minutes remain until the Tournament of Power is over, and only 4 members standing on the Universe 7 team, all while Universe 11 is putting all of their faith into one warrior, that having to be Jiren. As I want to welcome back SuperSaiyanPaul back onto the channel, and Paul, I wanted to talk to you more or less about the final 4 contestants of Universe 7 squaring off against Jiren, because now it looks like this is going to be a do or die situation. If Goku, Vegeta, Android 17, and Frieza don't collectively put aside their differences in focusing on one singular fighter that universally is their selective enemy in this tournament, and even if for the slightest of moments are thrown off their game in focusing on Jiren, are going to lose everything they've ever known from their universe, as Universe 7 will get erased. So going into Dragon Ball Super episode 127 and beyond, we come to the understanding that Android 17 is bound to be eliminated. He served his purpose, and now he's putting up the final barrier to protect both Goku and Vegeta, which is a very noble thing to do, because thus far 17 has done everything in his power to make sure that his team remains intact. And just like Gohan had said from the beginning, it's all about teamwork, and I think that 17 solidified himself as a team player in not only protecting his sister, but protecting his friends as well, protecting the very person that he was programmed to kill, that being Goku, in this tournament. It was a remarkable thing to see for the first time Goku and 17 work together, but here we understand that universally, based on the episode preview and based on the episode spoilers, that 17 is going to go. So what I wanted to ask you is, how well do you think this team is going to do? As we saw, everyone is tired, most people are banged up. How well do you think the last 4 fighters are going to do as they collide with Jiren? And having to look at it from the outside in, do you believe that there's a chance that Jiren could win, being that this entire time he's been fighting at such a suppressed level? It's very scary to even conceive the idea of what this man is truly hiding. So initially, as we go into the final 4 minutes of this tournament, what are your overall thoughts as to who may survive and who may go? And essentially, how well do you think our heroes are going to do as they go up against their most difficult opponent, and that being Jiren?
My thoughts and opinions on these final 4 fighters against Jiren here is that I think it's fair. These are the 4 fighters that I saw coming towards the end. The one fighter that I did not expect to get ringed out before this point was Gohan, but other than that, these 4 did deserve to make it. They were the strongest of the strong for Universe 7. But is that enough to fight Jiren? Especially with the fact that Vegeta right now is drained. Golden Frieza hasn't had that much of a spotlight, so I'm gonna say that he may have a little bit of a huger role to play here.
And he's missing right now too.
He came up for a little bit in the Toppo thing,
right?
But he with Android 17 being the hinted one to be ringed out next, that just leaves Goku, depleted Vegeta, especially after that final explosion, and Frieza. And what worries me here is that Android 17, we already know that from spoilers, he's not going to be enough with that final. His barrier is going to get broken by Jiren entirely. So he, in that regard, is kind of useless at this point, and that's why I see him getting ringed down next. And it'll go down to the big 3, Frieza, Vegeta, and Goku. Goku still hasn't had a big moment in a while as well, and I think the last super big moment was him against Kefla, and that was a while ago. So
yeah, it really was.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna come down to Goku versus Jiren yet again because Vegeta just used everything he had. And does anyone see Vegeta getting Ultra Instinct in these last few episodes? I'm not entirely sure. Is fusion a possibility? You guys tell me in the comment section down below. But right now, it's seeming like Goku and Frieza are the two main characters in terms of power, because we didn't see that much Golden Frieza. That's what I'm saying. He has to play some sort of role, or else he's going to go down like Toppo as an unutilized character, because I honestly don't feel like I got enough out of Frieza yet.
And wouldn't that be a huge disappointment if we had Golden Frieza just showcased briefly against Toppo, only for him to get rung out by Jiren? Is it possible? Of course it is. And I don't want to take away from Vegeta, but I think that Vegeta does have a lot more to give, and huge props to Vegeta for doing what, you know, a lot of people thought that he wasn't going to do, and that's defeat a god of destruction, Toppo, which a lot of us were very curious as to how that was going to go, and you have to pay respect to Vegeta for doing that. But now we're fighting the top dog. We're going to be fighting the guy who even surpasses the gods, and it's very ominous how Jiren even looked at Toppo and said, "How pathetic, I expected more from you." And even Goku's like, "Hey, how could you talk to your friend like that?" That's how confident Jiren is. And I don't know if this confidence is going to be his downfall, but what I wanted to ask you is, as we go into these episodes 127, 128, 129, 130, and then the final episode 131, how do you see everything boiling on over? Because we actually talked about this off camera in the idea that, you know, it might come down to Universe 7 having to gang up on Jiren, Broly style, but just like Broly in the first movie, I think if that were to happen, Jiren were to still tank everybody unless Goku gains Ultra Instinct. I think nobody stands a chance. I mean, collectively too, because we saw what happened with Anilaza, and that was 5 versus 1. And now we get to see a different scenario occur to where it's 4-on-1, but this opposing figure isn't Anilaza, it's Jiren. So as we transition, you know, into the upcoming episodes, after 17, who do you see going next between Vegeta, Goku, and Frieza? Logically speaking, it is possible for Frieza to go next. For them to throw us all off guard, it is also possible, based on writing, that they could also throw out Goku for that matter, even though it's highly unlikely, and I don't think it'll ever happen, because the primary fight, the main event, is going to be Goku and Jiren. Who do you see going next? Because for me, having to look at, you know, Vegeta having to serve his purpose, I think that after 17, Vegeta's gonna go balls deep, and I think once he's fully depleted on energy, he's finished. I think the only other two people, which is very interesting to see team up, are going to be Goku and Frieza. So what are your thoughts on that? Who do you see going after 17? And, you know, essentially after that, who do you see standing up to Jiren once he unleashes his true power?
They have a lot of potential with this little fight here, because in these few episodes leading up to where I think it's inevitably Goku versus Jiren, it's going to be either Vegeta trying to recover while Golden Frieza fights Jiren, or Vegeta's going to have one last stand and get ringed out. I honestly, at this point, Vegeta has served more than this purpose. He has 0 energy left. If there's not a major power buff, I think he's getting ringed out. And if they underutilize Golden Frieza, then I feel like that's a waste of a character yet again, and that would be a bigger disappointment than anything else, because we've been waiting this entire tournament for him to do something with, like, something substantial. Now, I don't think him bringing out Dispo and Gohan at the same time is enough. I don't think you can call that enough. Him giving Goku a bit of power isn't enough yet. If he was to support Goku in the final fight against Jiren, I feel like that would be rewarding and satisfying to me. Do I want to see Vegeta get ringed out? Hell no. I actually want to see Vegeta.
It's difficult, bro, because you have Frieza, Goku, and Vegeta. And unless Frieza gives energy to Vegeta, which would be shocking, because those are the only two people that have not interacted. They have not teamed up. They have not had any sort of, like, physical interaction to help each other, to guide each other. They had an exchange of words, but that was pretty much it. So do you see Frieza handing over Vegeta some energy? Because he's, yo, listen, Beerus confirmed in the show, in Dragon Ball Super episode 126, Vegeta is fully depleted on power, even though he's going to continue his fight with Jiren in the upcoming episode. What's more remarkable is seeing how much of willpower he has to continue even when he's down and out. So do you see Frieza more or less supporting Vegeta and Goku and handing them energy, and falling back knowing that the fact that he can't go up against Jiren? He knows that the only other person that can is Goku and potentially Vegeta if they continuously team up. But with Jiren at full power, where do you see that going?
Well, with this episode that just passed, episode 126, that scenario is very much likely, I would say, because he just witnessed himself get pretty much beaten down to the ground by Toppo, both him and Android 17. That would make them kind of useless, and the only person in that ring that could take him on, that was able to take him on besides Goku, was Vegeta. So Vegeta could still technically be the ace of the tournament. Will Frieza change his character and actually side with a person that he used to call his pet? Will that happen? Because we saw a lot of character development from Vegeta in episode.
He has to, man. It's not like you have a choice. Survival.
And that's the thing. If you noticed, like, with the Pride Troopers, it felt as though, as this tournament went on, and especially with that line that Jiren gave out in this episode, episode 126, it seems like they got more disconnected rather than coming together. While the Universe 7 team, it seems like they've come closer and strengthened their bonds.
They have, yes. That's what Jiren pointed out. He said you all grew collectively together.
And yeah, and while the other universe, his universe, was falling apart, he even was like talking down to Toppo.
Yeah.
So that's something that could potentially happen with Frieza and Vegeta, and I would really look forward to that. I would still, even if Frieza got ringed out directly after that and Vegeta stayed in, I would be happy with that. That's some major turning point in his character.
What do you think would happen if we do have a, Golden Frieza scenario teaming up with Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku and Ultra Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta to team up against Jiren? Because with 17 having to be out, and again, we're not downplaying 17, it's his time to go. The character served his purpose. He literally has nothing left. And I think that we saw what happened with his barrier when Toppo was shooting out just his regular, Justice Flash, in episode 125, and even 17 acknowledged, wow, my barrier was beginning to crack. So I don't think that, 17 is going to have, especially if he had that kind of struggle with Toppo. I think Jiren, even based on the preview, we saw how Jiren just mollywopped in there and just busted everything 17 did. I don't see 17 really going that far. As a supporting character, I can see him saving, Frieza, Goku, Vegeta, because he's done it before. He saved Goku before, he saved Frieza before, he saved his sister before. The real MVP, I think, is 17. This entire tournament, he's been fighting very, very strategically. He's picked his fights. He's understood the gravity of what's happening. He broke through the power generator that Anilaza had, which nobody else was able to do. Props to 17, but it's time for him to go. I think that
Ribrianne.
Yeah, Ribrianne as well. He assisted 18 with Ribrianne. I just feel like Vegeta, and again, we're not trying to downplay Vegeta. Who else are you gonna ring out between Frieza, Vegeta, and Goku? You can't, and it's not, us wanking Goku, it's the narrative of the plot. It's plot-induced. Goku is going to fight Jiren one more time using Ultra Instinct. We don't know when. It could happen episode 128, 129, hell, it can even go down during episode 131 for all we know, which is the final episode of Super. But I just think that with Vegeta going, it would be a shock to see that, actually go down, unless they decide, to allow all three to stay and them eliminating Jiren. Because I want you to picture this scenario. Imagine if somehow, in some way, shape, or form, Goku gains Ultra Instinct, we have Ultra Blue Vegeta and Golden Frieza in the ring. Somehow, they manage to ring Jiren out, and thus the tournament's not over, even though, Universe 7 wins, they win. We see a showdown between the three of them. That would be very interesting. But even though I don't see it happening, it's very, very hard to predict the outcome. Many people are saying it's become too predictable, and I wanted to ask you, do you think it's become too predictable in the idea that Universe 7 might win? Because this can go either way. This can go Frieza winning, Goku winning, Jiren winning, or Vegeta winning. I mean, if Frieza wins, Goku wins, I mean, it's all different in terms of direction. So, do you think things have become way too predictable? And if so, how? If not, why not? And as we go forward into the finale, in your opinion, who do you see winning? If you really had to pick and choose between the following fighters that are left in the stage, who do you think would win, and why?
Well, with the way things are going right now, the reason why I would say it's predictable, if in fact Goku does win this entire tournament, then it's confirmed, is because it feels rushed. Characters like Toppo being rushed like this is what's making everything go in a straightforward line. There's no curveballs or anything, and that's why I'm saying it's predictable as ever. And that's why I also say that Goku would be the one to beat Jiren, because when have you ever seen Goku, even though he hasn't directly killed a major villain, he's always been present.
He's killed Frieza. He's killed Golden Frieza.
I mean, but besides that, even dating back to Dragon Ball Z, how many characters did he kill besides Kid Buu?
Right, no, I understand. I mean, both Goku and Vegeta took lots of L's, if you think about it. There were lots of times where both of them suffered, major losses, but at the same time now, Vegeta got a major win. He got a major win, and I think he needed that. He deserved that. I mean, I don't know if other people may agree or disagree, but Vegeta deserved that, and I think Toppo's complete trash. Someone like Vegeta was best suited to throw him out. However, we're talking about an entirely different being here, an entity that even surpasses that of a Hakaishin, and if that's the case, then do you think that it's possible for Jiren to win? And if so, how? Because like you just said, I mean, this can go in any direction, but what about Jiren?
That's the only thing, that's the curveball that they could throw us, and I feel like we might be hoping for it a little bit too much. If Jiren wins, which is a major possibility right now, because honestly, if you do real power scaling, Jiren knocks all of these guys out of the water.
Currently, yes.
Currently, yes, and especially with Vegeta having depleted energy, 17, we know he's gonna get ringed out.
Everyone's hurt, bro. Everyone is hurt.
Everyone's injured and weak, and we only have 4 minutes left, and you're telling me that this team can go against someone that hasn't even put out their full potential yet?
Exactly, and Jiren's been holding back so much this entire time. He fought everybody that he's battled, hit Goku and Vegeta, he's fought everybody, you know, at a state where he wasn't at full power. That is terrifying, bro.
At the very end there, at the end of episode 126, he literally did the most effortless kick and hit Goku out of Super Saiyan Blue. And you're telling me plot armor isn't going to save this team?
Right.
If Jiren wins, yeah, the only reason why I would say Jiren could possibly win at this point, besides plot armor, like working in some weird ways, is that they could use that to launch a very, very interesting set of events in terms of like a new series or maybe something connecting to the movie. But do you guys really see that happening? That's what I want. That's honestly what I want. But I feel like Goku's gonna pull something out of his ass because of plot armor and defeat Jiren at the very end there. Who's gonna be by his side? I'm not entirely sure. That's the curveball for me. It would have to be either Vegeta or Frieza. I would rather at this point it be Frieza because he hasn't been utilized. As of episode 126, Vegeta's been utilized to his fullest. They did throwbacks back to Dragon Ball Z and to one of his most defining moments to show how far he's come.
Yeah.
And I think they've used up most of Vegeta's character. If he does not get a transformation, they've used everything. If he gets Ultra Instinct, there's more. But
not only
right
that,
now,
but
Frieza.
I mean, I think that, you know, with Frieza still being in here, it's kind of sad to see him be a little underutilized because the whole time he's been walking around this entire tournament, just taunting and flexing and just pretty much trash talking a lot. What are your final thoughts as to the final remaining members of Universe 7 versus the one singular warrior that even surpasses the Hakaishin Jiren? Because a lot of us were, you know, speculating for months on end as to who the mortal was that surpasses even a god, that a god of destruction can't defeat, and here he is in the flesh. And now, based on the preview, we saw this dude, he has not just one, not two, but 4 auras behind him. He is the literal incarnation of what a deity is. I mean, look at him. He just looks like one. So as we go into this final fight with the last 4 minutes remaining, what are your overall thoughts? What do you expect to see? And in terms of the conclusion, what are your overall expectations and predictions as we near the final moments of the Tournament of Power?
Ultimately, I see this coming down to Goku versus Jiren yet again. How this will go and who's gonna be by his side is in the wall, like it's up in the air right now. It's gonna have to be either Vegeta or Frieza. Will Frieza, who is the most underutilized on the team right now, be the one? I'd rather it lean in that direction. As much as I love Vegeta, if Vegeta would still stay in ring, that's ideal. But for them to keep Frieza in here and not utilize him, that's disappointing. And honestly, as much as I love Vegeta and his win against Toppo, it does feel like it's slightly nerfed because of the fact that Toppo wasn't a utilized character, so that takes away from it a bit. As badass as Vegeta is, as badass as all of them was, if they don't have like enough character development on the enemy, it's not enough. And right now, Jiren, that's the problem that I feel like he's gonna fall into here. We barely know anything about Jiren, and Toppo was just eliminated. Toppo, I knew more about Toppo than I did about Jiren, and that's the sad part. I don't feel as satisfied as I could have possibly been because with every other major villain, especially like the Frieza, Cell, Kid Buu days, even Goku Black, we had so much more character development. Jiren, he still feels like just a strong, stale character with no real personality. He's just like, yeah, I'm a boss. I feel like Broly had more personality than him right now, and that's the scary part. But right now, I say Goku's gonna be the one to take him down. Who's gonna be by his side? At this point in time, I would lean towards Frieza.
I definitely feel that by the end of this entire tournament's gonna tell one great story, and that story being that I do believe that by the end, despite how strong Goku may be, he may not even potentially surpass this guy, because looking at everything Jiren has been doing, it's it's inconceivable to see how much power he was holding back, and now it looks like he's going to more or less reveal his hidden power onto the surface in showing Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, and 17 what he can truly do as a fighter that even far surpasses the gods in strength. And I do also feel like this fight, even though it feels rushed, will have lots of surprises for us. For example, we don't really know as to the placement for Frieza. We don't know how far they plan on keeping Vegeta around. If that, it is a possibility that he might win if he's, you know, cautious enough to wait and buy for his time to see Goku fight Jiren and throwing them both out of the ring. Anything can happen, and this is where you guys come in. Post your comments down below. What are your overall thoughts on the final 4 minutes of the Tournament of Power? Who do you guys believe is going to be rung out after Android 17? Is it going to be Frieza? Is it going to be Vegeta? Is it possible for Goku to be the next one to go? And what are your overall thoughts as we near the finale of the Tournament of Power, with Jiren having to reveal more and more of his true power and having to battle against 4 people, having ourselves a Broly-esque feel where literally you have everybody gang up on one guy and it still wasn't even enough. So either way, guys, thank you all so much for watching. If you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to go on ahead and punch that subscribe button, guys. Turn on all notifications. Follow me at Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and of course Facebook. I will leave all those links down in the description box, guys. Make sure you guys come back daily for more discussions. Thank you all once again for watching. Tune back in for more. Check out SuperSaiyanPaul's channel, and I'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below. Cue my outro, bitch.